A group of people wake up from a coma. They found that their mouths were shackled so that they could not speak. There was a large wooden box in the middle of the meadow. Inside the wooden box were all kinds of weapons before anyone knew what was going on. Suddenly, several people were shot and lost their breath. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to explain to you a film about Battle Royale: The Hunt. An elegant woman is sitting in her office talking, but their conversation is not so elegant. Athena reminds the group that the hunt for the estate will soon begin. There will be 12 civilians waiting to be hunted by them. The members of the chat room are traveling to the estate in a luxury plane for the hunt. Suddenly, a man stumbled into the first-class cabin. He mumbled what the hell was going on. He has no idea why he was there at all. Also in shock were the members of the first-class cabin. They didn't expect anyone to wake up in the middle of the flight. An elderly man who claimed to be a doctor comforted him and borrowed a pen from the flight attendant. I thought he was going to do some kind of new treatment. Instead, he inserted the pen into the static artery of the man's throat. It seems that the game started early because the injection was not enough to make the man unconscious. The crowd dragged the man into the waiting cabin. Lying next to him was an unconscious blonde woman. Yoga slowly opened her eyes. Early the next morning, she saw that she was in a strange environment surrounded by trees. Yoga walked forward in a daze. She saw a number of people with their mouths locked. Like her, no one seemed to understand what was going on here. Perhaps only the wooden box in front of them can give them the answer. When Gary cracked the wooden board with an iron bar, a little pig in a suit came out of the crate. What's even stranger is that there were all kinds of weapons hidden in the crate. Everyone's eyes were drawn to the guns and daggers. Only Yoga found something on the board. She ripped open the bag and found a key. Yoga found the most handsome man to verify the conclusion. Sure enough, it unlocked the shackles holding their mouths shut. And this became the signal for the start of the hunting game. There was a sudden gunshot in the air. Yoga was the first to be hit in the head. Then the crowd realized they were the prey scattered in the grassland and waiting to be slaughtered by the hunters. A man with 2 submachine guns tried to attack others first. Those who cannot endure cannot survive. People were being killed one after another. Liberty thought if she ran fast enough, the bullets wouldn't catch her. The bullets didn't catch up with her, but she fell into a trap. He listened to the distant cries for help. Trucker kindly pulled her out of the steel-spiked hole. The two of them ran towards the jungle with their arms around each other, but they accidentally stepped on a bomb on the ground. A second later, Trucker was blown to smithereens. Liberty was even worse off. She was bounced back into the trap by the force of the explosion. The steel cone through her body and the disappearance of the lower half of her body killed her desire to live. She eventually swallowed the bullet. The sound of gunfire in the air. The battle of hunt and run continued. Stanton and Richard, along with a man and a woman, gathered to run across the barbed wire fence to the highway. Maybe a car will pass by and save them. But in the process of climbing, Richard was stabbed in the chest by a sword flying from afar. Another prey died on the hunting estate. The trio ran into a small store at the edge of the jungle. The owners were an elderly couple. They found out after questioning this was Route 30, one in Arkansas. The 3 men were surprised because they were from different places. Stanton immediately called 911 for help. They were relaxed as they waited for help. May even ate something to replenish her strength, but the food was actually poisoned by the time Stanton realized it. It was too late. The gas masked our store. Couple threw a gas bomb at the trio's feet. They turned on the exhaust fan and cleaned up the bodies, and the walkie-talkie went off. The man on the intercom informed them that the heroine was coming to their door. Tell them to get ready for the next round of hunting. Shortly thereafter, the target of the hunt arrived at the store. Crystal was not as nervous as the previous 3. Instead, she was very calm. Crystal didn't ask for the phone. She didn't ask for an address. She took money to buy a box of cigarettes, but when she saw the change bill on the table, she changed her expression and rolled over into the counter. She pulls a rifle from under the counter and kills the old couple. It turns out the cigarettes were only $6. They didn't even know about such a common sense issue. They must have been disguised. Crystal tried to drive out of here, but then she found a fuse on the door handle. If it wasn't for her anti-detection skills, she would have been a pulp. Gary comes up from a little ways away. The 2 of them improvise the team and continue their escape along the tracks. Gary tried to break the awkward, intense atmosphere. He told the inside story of something he knew he had once read on the internet. There's a group of liberal elites who hunt civilians for fun. It looked like they were the main players in the manor hunting game. Crystal didn't care why she was here. How to get out of here was all she could think about. A short time later, the train came up behind them. They ran and climbed into the carriage, but they weren't the only ones here. There's a group of refugees on the train. Gary thinks they are actors arranged by the elite. Killing them is the safest way to go. But before they could shoot, The train is stopped by the military for a routine inspection. One of the refugees warns Gary that all the other refugees and soldiers are real. Only I'm the hunter in the mix. To keep the three of us from getting into trouble, you need to quiet down right now. All I can promise is that I can let you escape before I hunt you down. But his negotiations failed. Gary knocked Ned to the ground, and the bombs fell out of the bag. Gary grabbed a bomb and shoved it into his pants. Then there was a loud bang in the air. Ned was blown to pieces. Gary took advantage of the commotion and escaped. Crystal was brought to the chief and met Don, the other survivor. Both said they were being hunted by others and the military believed them. The embassy soon sent Envoy to take them home. After he learned about the hunting game, Envoy asked them why the elite had chosen you as their target. You must have done something to be targeted by them. Crystal senses that something is wrong. She kicks him out of the car and drives over his head. Don was scared and thought he had met a madman. Crystal didn't explain. She just opened the trunk. Inside the trunk was Gary. There was a map of the estate in a box next to him. Envoy's identity was then revealed. Don suggested driving away immediately. Crystal dismissed that decision. Her mother used to tell the story of the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise won the race and went home to celebrate. But then the hare found him and killed his entire family with a hammer. Now Crystal and Don are the hammer. Now Crystal and Dawn are the hare's characters. The only way they can survive is to take risk. They found the base camp hidden in the manor according to the markings on the map, and they managed to kill an elite player who was out to go to the bathroom at this moment. The team's hired guide heard the commotion. He told the elites to find a hiding spot and stay on high alert. Crystal, however, arranged for the piglet to scout the way it draws the opponent's fire and attention. Crystal used this time to complete her sneak attack plan. The so-called elites were instantly killed by her guns just as the battle was ending. Athena's voice came over the intercom and asked, "Dawn, did you kill her?" Crystal realized that her teammate was one of the gamers. She decisively shot Dawn and killed him. Now she had one last challenge left, and that was Athena. It didn't take Crystal long to get Athena's location from the instructor. Before the final battle comes, the director finally told us the original purpose of the hunting game. It turns out that the chat log of the hunting of civilians in the manor was a random joke by several people. But the phone of one of the members was hacked. It led to all of the information being published online, including the content of the hunt. People really believed that they were killing for fun. All kinds of conspiracy theories instantly spread on the internet. The president had to fire the executives involved in order to solve the problem. After losing their honor and status, they decided to take revenge. They found 12 people out of the thousands of commenters on the estate to play their hunting game. By now, Crystal has also found Athena. She couldn't understand why she was being targeted. Athena started talking about Crystal's sins. She accused Crystal of disguising herself as the Justice Woman a year ago and attacking them on the internet for killing innocent people for fun. Crystal interrupted Athena when she heard this because it seems they had the wrong person. Crystal didn't have a screen name as Justice Woman, nor had she made any comments on the internet. But Athena didn't want to admit she'd made a mistake. Now that we're done talking, let's make it quick. Crystal slashed at her opponent with a sharp knife, but Athena had some fight in her too. She looks like she's been professionally trained. But Crystal is a former soldier who served in Afghanistan. She knows how to kill with the experience of real bullets. She had a few ups and downs, but she finally killed Athena. Coincidentally, a rabbit appeared in the room. It confirmed the story that Crystal told earlier. The rabbit must win in the end. Even if she nods off and loses the race, she will eventually break into the turtle's house and kill him and take his dinner and plunder his wealth. Crystal changed into Athena's dress. She grabbed the $250,000 bottle of champagne and boarded the luxury plane that was waiting in place and set off on her way home. The stewardess and the captain were surprised for a moment and then returned to normal. They were not serving a person at all. But the wealth in their pockets and the power in their hands, the order of death of the 12 prey. The director set up a very interesting. The first to die was the man who woke up in the middle of the plane because he was not injected with enough drugs to pass out in a war. The first to awaken often does not survive. The second to die is Yogesh. Was pretty and cute enough, but that wasn't the key to her survival. She is more likely to become a target for others. The third person to die is a brave but reckless man. Even if he had muscles, it would not change the final outcome. The fourth woman who died in the moment of the crisis still had a lucky chance, but only death awaits her. The fifth death is the kind-hearted trucker. He is inevitably bound to be emotionally involved in the case of the merciless gun. The next to die were the three who ran into the store calling for help. They had prematurely taken their guard down in enemy range and were ready to start enjoying the fruits of victory The time of death will also come in addition. The director also added a lot of metaphors, including racial discrimination, global warming, internet violence, etc. Anyway, it's a movie with both intense action and an exciting plot. I recommend it to everyone. You can subscribe and leave comments if you have any ideas. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Till then, bye-bye.